How far would humanity go if given the chance to defy God? Angel Engine presents us with a world on the brink of extinction, a dying planet stripped of its resources, drowning in chaos. Everything has been destroyed by mankind's own hand, and in this landscape of utter despair, the only thing left is prayer. The desperate cries of an entire species begging for a miracle. And the miracle comes. God, in his infinite mercy, answers. He sends an angel, a celestial being moved by compassion, who descends to earth to offer aid. But instead of welcoming him with humility and gratitude, humanity betrays him. They imprison him. They hook him up to a machine, the Angel Engine. And thus begins the greatest blasphemy imaginable, using an angel as a power source, stripping him of his dignity, reducing him to a divine battery whose eternal suffering fuels a new artificial utopia. This act doesn't just break moral or ethical boundaries, it violates the divine order itself, turning humanity into the executioner of the sacred. And it's not done out of hatred. It's carried out with cold, calculated indifference, with scientific logic stripped of compassion, with the arrogance of those who believe they have the right to control all of creation. Dr. Ernstmann embodies this mindset. He is the human face of this sin, the symbol of what happens when science is completely severed from empathy and morality, and he's the central figure of the new episodes we'll be breaking down and analyzing today. This is how Angel Engine began. Who would have thought the series would grow in popularity and impact so quickly? Just take a look at the first video I made about it. Honestly, I don't even have the words to express how thankful I am to all of you. Truly, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And here we are once again, ready to dive into the latest episodes released since the last time. If this is your first time hearing about Angel Engine, I recommend you check out my very first video on the series. It should be popping up right about now. I've already covered the story of the early episodes twice in 2 different videos, so it feels a bit redundant to go over it all again. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who responded to the pinned comment in the last video and for the incredible support you always give me. Remember, if you'd like to be featured in the next video, make sure to reply to the pinned comment where you'll find this question. Is Dr. Ernstmann a villain or simply the inevitable product of a desperate humanity? Without further ado, don't forget to leave your precious like and subscribe to help the channel grow and reach more people. Every like is one more coin to escape poverty. If you're unsure what to comment, just type meow in the comments section and I'll give you a heart in return. Comments are incredibly important and help the video a lot, so don't forget to leave yours. Welcome back to Angel Engine. What a way to begin. In this new chapter, Dr. Ernstmann presents the latest developments in the Angel Engine project. As we can see, some time has passed since the Angel was first captured. We don't know exactly how long, but whether it's been a short or long period, one thing is certain. The Angel has endured unspeakable suffering, a torment so profound that his appearance has begun to deteriorate, slowly taking on the form we know he'll have in the future. Dr. Ernstmann explains that through countless experiments conducted on him, several conclusions have been reached. The Angel has demonstrated immeasurable intelligence, so much so that every test designed to study him has failed. He surpasses all known limits, and although he speaks in a strange, cryptic manner, they've managed to learn his name. They're not holding just any angel, but one from the highest ranks, the Archangel Uriel. Also known as the Light of God or the Fire of God, Uriel is recognized across various religious and esoteric traditions as the bearer of divine wisdom, enlightenment, and spiritual transformation. While his name doesn't appear in the canonical Bible accepted by all Christian denominations, he is mentioned in apocryphal and deuterocanonical texts such as the Book of Enoch and the Apocalypse of Ezra. According to some traditions, Uriel was the angel who guarded the gates of Eden with a flaming sword, preventing access to the tree of life after Adam and Eve were cast out. When God decided to flood the earth to cleanse it of the corruption caused by the fallen angels and their offspring, it was Uriel who warned Noah of the coming disaster. He revealed God's plan and instructed him on how to survive, telling him to build an ark. That alone shows Uriel's deep connection with humanity, a connection we see reflected once again here. Despite everything, Uriel continues to love humanity with all his being. He makes this known to Ernstmann and pleads with him for release. But the man standing before him is a psychopath through and through, a man who embodies coldness, greed, and the total abandonment of compassion in the blind pursuit of scientific and technological advancement, a man utterly indifferent to suffering, whether human or divine. So, when the archangel begs him again and again, Ernstmann simply responds with a cold, emotionless no. Then, without hesitation, he moves on, not just to continue his explanation, but to demonstrate the angel engine's ability to create artificial miracles. He shows us the lifeless body of a young man, allegedly killed in a workplace accident inside the second tower of Babel. But knowing Ernstmann, I'm almost certain this was just another test subject, one more victim among countless others already claimed by his hands. At that very moment, Uriel pleads, begging the doctor not to hurt him, but Dr. Ernstmann goes through with it anyway. He resurrects the boy using the angel's power. I don't know if I'm the only one, but there's something deeply disturbing about seeing an angel, an entity capable of wiping us out with a mere snap of his fingers, reduced to begging and groveling before a mere human. But how did this man become the one to lead the most ambitious project in Earth's history? To understand that, we need to dig into his past. And for that, we turn to the article published in Rewired magazine, The Man Behind the Machine, the Father of the Angel. Sometimes the brightest minds aren't born, they're broken. And from those shattered pieces, things emerge that should never exist. Geoff Ernstmann burst onto the scientific scene in his early 20s, leaving the world in awe. When he received the Nobel Prize in Chemistry at just 25 years old, he became the youngest laureate in history, a prodigy, a rising star. It seemed clear he was destined to become one of the greatest minds of the scientific world, and he didn't miss the chance to make that known. During the awards ceremony, he looked out at the audience with unwavering confidence and said, "I am here to bring this world into the future." A bold statement, especially coming from a man whose brain had only just finished developing. But many of the world's top intellectuals were entranced by him. They believed every word. They praised him as a visionary, almost messianic figure. And then, everything changed. Little by little, the spotlight began to fade. The young prodigy couldn't replicate his early success. The headlines vanished. The collaborations stopped. And the scientific community forgot him. The man once hailed as the future of science was swallowed by the shadows of obscurity, and for nearly 20 years, nothing more was heard from him. Until now. Ernstmann emerged from the darkness, not as a man seeking redemption, but as the herald of something entirely new. And he didn't return with an apology. He returned with a machine, a device that, in his own words, is the most important invention in human history, a miraculous machine, one that, according to him, can turn any wish into reality. In the months that followed the announcement, Dr. Ernstmann's name was once again on everyone's lips. International news, scientific conferences, magazine covers. The forgotten genius had become, overnight, the most talked about man on the planet. But not everything was as it seemed. That sudden success came at a price. And soon, the details began to leak. Details about what really powered the machine. Ernstmann had named it the Angel Engine, and its secret was horrifying. Inside the mechanism was a real being, an angel, conscious, alive, trapped within. That creature, caught somewhere between the divine and the artificial, was the very source of its miracles. When this truth was exposed, the reaction was immediate. Outrage. Debates erupted. Protests. Public outcry. How far are we willing to go for the sake of progress? And at what cost? Many began to question the morality of the project. Others went even further. They claimed Ernstmann's work was meaningless without the angel inside, that he wasn't a genius, just a thief of divine power. Some called it blasphemy. Others, heresy, and the most extreme voices claimed he had damned his very soul. But Ernstmann didn't flinch. Instead of expressing regret, he released a statement on the project's official website. He briefly addressed the criticism and hinted that a new invention is already on the way, one that, in his words, will silence all his doubters. More information, he says, will be revealed in an exclusive interview with National News.
State your name for the camera.
Uriel.
Welcome back to the Barry Donovan Show, ladies and gentlemen. Many see him as the savior of our species, while others think him a fraud. However, one thing is for certain. Dr. Geoff Ernstmann is the most famous man in the world right now. We here at the Barry Donovan Show were able to secure an exclusive interview with the man behind the machine. Live from the second Tower of Babel, please welcome Dr. Geoff Ernstmann.
Thank you, Barry. I am thrilled to be here today.
It's my pleasure. You found yourself on the receiving end of a lot of criticism in recent weeks, particularly regarding your treatment of the angel. Would you like to say something about that?
You know, Barry, I thought long and hard about the discussion at hand, and I think it is a very important discussion to be had indeed. But there is one thing most people don't consider. We ran the tests, and they all showed the same thing. If the angel wanted to escape, he could. Yet he chooses to stay. I think that makes things clear enough.
In the same vein, many have also tried to discredit your work, claiming the angel was the real reason for your success. That must be quite infuriating, right?
You know, Barry, that is actually why I wanted to come on here. To make an announcement.
An announcement? Well, let's hear it.
Many of you have doubted me in the past weeks, but I am happy to remind you that I remain the smartest mind on this planet. And to prove this fact to you, I have been working on a new invention. Exactly 1 week from now, it shall be revealed to the whole world. Then all of you will be forced to realize that I am who I am.
That sounds like quite the statement. Can you tell us more about this new invention of yours?
All I can reveal at the moment is this. I am no longer in need of that angel to make my experiments work.
Okay, what did we just witness? On one hand, Dr. Ernstmann confirms what's become increasingly obvious. Uriel can escape. Of course he can, but he chooses to stay. After all, his sole reason for descending to Earth was to help humanity, and that's exactly what he continues to do, even from within the angel engine, despite the immense suffering it brings him. On the other hand, what is it that Ernstmann has been preparing for us? An invention so revolutionary that it would render the Archangel obsolete. But does that mean Uriel will finally be set free? Unfortunately, I hate to disappoint you, because in the future he's still very much imprisoned inside the angel engine. Finally, the day arrived. The day when Ernstmann's groundbreaking new invention would be revealed to the public. But on that very same day, the doctor was the victim of an attempted assassination. Beersheba, Israel. Dr. Geoff Ernstmann, world-renowned scientist and lead mind behind the controversial Angel Engine initiative, was attacked by an assailant in the early hours of March 26th, just outside Solomon Hall, only hours before his new invention was set to be unveiled to the world. Reports indicate that the attacker used a homemade firearm. 3 shots were fired. 2 struck him in the abdomen. 1 hit his face. Ernstmann was rushed to St. Mary's Hospital, where he underwent emergency surgery, but his current condition remains unknown. The attacker, later identified as 32-year-old Jensen Goldstein, was apprehended by local authorities just 5 blocks from the scene. He is now in police custody, awaiting legal action. The entire world was stunned. News spread like wildfire, and public reaction was almost unanimous. Many claimed he had it coming, and the calls to free Uriel only grew louder. Soon, however, some of Ernstmann's colleagues spoke out in his defense.
I am beyond speechless. Geoff remains one of the brightest minds on this planet. and attempting to dim such a brilliant man, all because you disagree with his ethics. It goes to show how far we've fallen as a society. My prayers go out to Geoff and all his friends and family.
As Ernstmann fights for his life, and the angel engine remains cloaked in silence, the world stands at a crossroads. The line between miracle and monstrosity has never been thinner. And as the dust settles in Beersheba, one question echoes louder than the gunshots. What price are we truly willing to pay for a miracle? Without a doubt, Dr. Ernstmann would eventually find the answer to this question, and he won't like it one bit.
You want an autograph or something?
What was all of this? Surely no one expected this outcome, myself included. And more importantly, who or what is this new entity? Well, I have two possible interpretations. The first is this. Did Ernstmann truly believe he could torture one of God's closest angels without facing any consequences? For someone considered the brightest mind on earth, it's disappointing that he never took this possibility into account. Or perhaps he did. Maybe I'm jumping the gun by saying that because in truth, we don't know for sure. But if he did foresee it, and as some of his critics have pointed out, we might be dealing with a man willing to damn his own soul if it meant achieving his goals. Here's how it all unfolded. The assailant, with a chilling, almost grotesque appearance, stands before Ernstmann and, while repeating the mantra, "God is coming," over and over, pulls out a weapon and fires. We don't know exactly who this figure is, but judging by how things turned out, he's clearly not just some ordinary person. Could he be someone influenced by God himself to punish the one responsible for this horrific sin against the divine? Perhaps, but what we do know is that Ernstmann did not survive the attack, and now he's being purged, possibly for all eternity. He's experiencing constant pain and suffering, just like he inflicted on Uriel, but multiplied millions and millions of times over. After all this, many might wonder if the Doctor could somehow be revived using the angel engine. Do you really think God would allow that? Ernstmann is now under the weight and authority of God's will, and there's no artificial miracle or man-made machine that can save him from it. But what if that's not what's happening here? What if this isn't God? That's where my second interpretation comes in. Look at Ernstmann's face and the face of the entity. Don't they seem familiar? That has to be intentional. But then, what sense would it make for the Antichrist to destroy the Doctor? Wouldn't it be more useful to him if Uriel remained under his control? There are many questions we still don't have answers to. But one thing is certain, Geoff Ernstmann is now suffering. He is being punished for everything he's done. Well, that's all for today. Angel Engine just keeps getting more and more intriguing, and I can't wait to see where the story goes from here. On the other hand, I was genuinely curious to find out what Dr. Ernstmann's latest creation was all about, but I guess we'll have to wait a bit longer for that. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love reading them. If you want more videos like this, don't forget to support this one as much as possible and share it with as many people as you can. Also, make sure to follow me on my other social media platforms, where I upload exclusive short-form content you won't find on YouTube. And most importantly, a huge shout out to the channel members. Seriously, thank you so much. If you'd like to become a member, just click the join button next to the subscribe button to access tons of perks and exclusive emojis while supporting me. If you're interested, go for it. I'd be forever grateful. Remember, this video was made by a cat, and cats can't talk. Thanks for watching, take care, and see you next week with the best video of my entire channel.